I want to be honest with you about the rebuilding part because people always want it to be a clean montage, and it wasn't. The first 3 months in my apartment, I cried a lot. I ate cereal for dinner more times than I'm proud of. I applied for jobs and got rejected and applied again. I had one interview where I had to explain a 9-year gap on my resume to a 28-year-old hiring manager who looked at me with something close to pity. I drove home from that interview, sat in the parking lot of a grocery store, and gave myself exactly 15 minutes to feel sorry for myself. Then I went inside and bought real food and went home and updated my portfolio. Because here is what I knew about myself that Daniel's lawyer did not. I had been running a household of 2, managing a budget, coordinating events, maintaining vendor relationships for home services, and operating as the sole social and logistical backbone of our lives for 9 years. I had not been doing nothing. I had been doing everything. I just hadn't been getting paid for it. I reached out to a former colleague from my marketing days, a woman named Sasha who I'd kept in loose touch with over the years. I told her I was re-entering the field and asked if she knew of anything. She called me back the same day. It took 6 months to land my first real role, a marketing coordinator position at a mid-size company. Not glamorous, lower than where I'd been when I left a decade ago. I took it without hesitation. That was 18 months ago. I got promoted 7 months in. I have my own bank account, my own credit card, my own savings, small but growing. My name on my own lease. I make my own appointments and pay my own bills and choose my own groceries without calculating whether the amount will raise questions. I go to therapy every other Wednesday. My therapist is helping me understand how I lost myself so completely inside someone else's life without realizing it was happening. I'm not bitter about the years I spent as a wife. I made choices that made sense to me at the time. But I know now that financial dependence is not a love language. It is a vulnerability. And I will never hand someone else that kind of power over my life again. A few weeks ago, I ran into someone who knew Daniel and me as a couple. She said she'd heard about the divorce and that she was sorry. I told her honestly that I wasn't. She looked surprised. I thought about how to explain it. The fear, the humiliation, the cereal dinners, the parking lot crying, the resume gap, Patricia, the promotion, the apartment that is small and imperfect and completely mine. I didn't explain any of it. I just smiled and said, "I'm doing really well, actually." Because I am. Follow for more stories.